Hey y'all, welcome to Other Realm Studio. I'm Paula and this is a map, which will be the map that we'll be using for the print that will be mailed out with all the Kickstarter rewards. I've done a few extra things to it. I've put it on a background. I've got a little wooden table going on here, and trimmed up some of the edges, added on to some of the edges. And I'll be going over it and adding more shadows around. Let's see. Let's go back over here. I had just finished putting some texture on this with the, what was I using? Not the airbrush. I was using the Subtool Decoration Friction, very large brush with that, and this light pale tone just to give it a little extra dirt and wear and aging. And now I need to find what I was doing. Go back to default color and the dark brown, so that I can get the shadow in those edges. I thought I had the shadow done a little bit too much on the nose here. A little too flat. So I'll be expanding this and fixing it up in a few areas. Let me see. It's not easy to really see where I'm drawing. There. I'm also going to cut into the map a little bit more, blend out that edge. So I will have to zoom in on it later. Nope, went over too much of that. So I was thinking today, a dangerous pastime, I know. But I was thinking that since the Kickstarter's over, maybe I don't need to be doing the art stream, or maybe I don't need to be doing it so frequently. I was wondering if I should be taking a break, maybe not doing this every night, maybe taking off weekends and Wednesdays. Because I'm not gonna have a whole lot of art left to do, I guess. See, I have one commission coming up, and it's nothing to do with the comic. And I also have this that I've been working on. I don't love it yet. Let me click this up here. So I was working on another wallpaper to offer on the rewards. And other than that, and finishing up some bonus art for like the next Kickstarter I do. So I'll have even more ready at once. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else I'll have lined up. So if this would just zoom in smoothly, that would improve my life. Also, there's a gnat in here. I don't know how it got in here, but I'm extremely unhappy with it. Let's see. That looks a bit better. So, if you're listening, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do I need to continue doing the live stream? Are you enjoying it? Are you thinking, well, there's really too much going on, you're not interested in listening to all of them? Or just tell me your thoughts on that. See, I'm going to try to make this stand out from the background with the shading. That was a little too much. So I'm doing this in a layer that's on top of the map, so I can cover over it when I need to. I'm just going to try and vary my line weight so that it looks like it's following the contours of the paper or parchment. So right now I'm doing a lot of weighting, and I'm not very good at weighting. I'm really sorry. I should pray for patience, but I'm scared to. It's one of those situations. I'm waiting to hear back about, let's see, about my novel, which I'm so excited because it's my first novel. It's going to be published, I'm thinking, this year. But, you know, it's been in edits for a little while, and I'm about to get it back to do a little more work on it. And finish up the edits. So I should be getting that back soon. And I've also got the other thing that I'm waiting to hear back on is the status of, there's that gnat in front of my screen. I'm glad y'all can't see it. Okay, I'm waiting to hear back on the status of the print run, which I uploaded everything, and I hope it's all good. Because I'm really not sure what I'll do if it's not. Well, I guess I do have a plan for that, but it would involve more waiting, and I'm really bad at that. Let me, since I'm over here on this side of the map, I'm going to need to fix up this spot where it's gotten a little too blurry. Whoa, that's too big. Alright, here we are. About a 50. We'll cover that over with some dirt. And shade this in a little bit more so that it looks like the edges of the map have rolled and flexed. Oh, and tomorrow is Saturday, which is Free Comic Book Day. So let me know if you're looking forward to going to a comic shop tomorrow, checking out the free books, helping your local comic shop stay in business. Yeah, it's really strange that with the popularity of the superhero movies, that the comic shops are not seeing more business. That may be because the subject matter in the actual comics is a little bit tone deaf. I know that it's kind of difficult to find good all ages comics, really. Everything went kind of dark and gritty for a while. And that's not really my favorite genre to read. But let me follow this down here. Okay. I'm going to vary the line weight along this edge. And try to keep up with where the shading is supposed to be. So my comic, Soulbound, is, it's not all sweetness and light, but there is an undertone of hope to it. Let's see. It's possible that I've done a little too much shading around all the edges. Let me back out of this. Okay, I like the bottom edge. I like this left edge. This up here at the top, I think this is too much shading that goes all the way around. That doesn't really contribute to the illusion of depth. Let's see. Yeah, take this down from this side. Okay. We'll start this over again. So yeah, I read enough things that are depressing in the real life news. I don't want it in my comics. And I don't want to be forced into being some sort of an activist with everything I read either. I don't appreciate having my emotions manipulated for political gain, which is what a lot of modern writing has turned into. And, you know, I feel like it's an insult to my intelligence. And I may be just prideful enough to where that's just it's not gonna fly. Okay, this needs taken down a little bit. Just a very subtle effect. Let's see. All right, there's a corner from before I flattened this that's showing up again. Okay. I would say I'm neatening this up, but it's kind of the opposite. Now I'll blend this out. And go back to this. Nope. I think I have my brush too big again. Yes, thank you, autosave. So yeah, this is a lot of tiny detail on a relatively small corner of the whole thing, but I think it'll be worth it. Because I'd hate to have the illusion broken by a small detail I could have fixed earlier. Okay, let's pull back out of this and see if there's anything else we can do to improve it. Before we put the text on. I don't know, I think it's looking pretty good. I like my wood texture. It could probably stand to have another brown tone to make the boards look rougher. Let's see, probably not that one. Let's see, I don't really like any of the cross-hatching options, so I might end up with this one. We'll zoom in on a corner and see what it does. No, that's still too coarse. So the friction is the same one that I used on the map. It's pretty close to what I wanted though. Zoom in on that a little more. Maybe a warmer tone. Let's see. I don't know, I might not have the right brush for this. Let me take a look at what I have in my inks. Let's back out of using friction on these. Okay. And let's see, lighter ink. That's pretty thick. Maybe not that one. No. That one has possibilities. So that's the light running ink. And I don't know, I might go back to, what was it? Lighter ink. And maybe a warmer color. A little brighter. Alright, that works. That gives it some depth. Going to go, let's see, don't think I need to go with a very big brush. Unfortunately, this is going to take a little bit. So this is giving a bit more dimension and complexity to the wood, and I know this is just the trim space and it's not as important as the map itself, and I should get on with doing the names on the places. But on the other hand, if I just treat this as background, then it's not gonna look as good as the map, and it won't look as real as the map, and that will destroy the illusion that, you know, it's a map that's on a surface. You know, with the shadow being cast, with it being rippled at the edges. And I did want it to look pretty good. This is my reward for my backers for getting over $900. Now, we're not out of the woods yet on the Kickstarter, or at least I'm not. I just got startled by a gnat diving straight at my eyes. That was really weird. Okay, so I'm not out of the woods yet as far as the Kickstarter goes. Everybody has to make sure that their cards are up to date, that they used a pledge with. Because I can't get the funds if they're not there. And it'll kind of slow down the process for everybody. wonder if I could do that on this layer any brighter. It does do this a lot brighter on this upper layer. And I should probably not be changing which layer I'm working on halfway through it. But I was having to go over it a few times on the other layer, and now I don't have to go through it as many, so yeah, I'll be using this layer. I hope I don't need to go back and blend anything. It is kind of important to work fast because I can't stay here all night. I probably will be cutting back on the art streams because when I get my book back for editing, it's this is my most reliable time to work. It's after I put the kids to bed, and I don't really have anything else that I have to do other than go to bed myself, which well, let's face it. Oh, wrong pen. Undo. We want the brush. Okay. Okay, this is a little bit of gloss, a little bit of reflection on the table. So what I did when I wrote the first draft of the book, or well, the first complete iteration or so of it, I would work after I put kids to bed, and I would get up early in the morning and work on it too. And that was how I spent my summer. Now this, with the art streams, putting the kids to bed and doing this has worked out pretty good, but I'm going to need that time because I have the book to edit, or to finish with the editing. I have some cool new stuff to do. Let's blend that a little more softly there. I do like the streaky look in most of it, but not all of it. Oh yeah, edits, and then I also have a sequel that I want to do. I have some pieces of it put together. There were some pieces that were not going together very well, and so I had stopped work on it for a bit, and now I think I've let it rest a bit. Books probably have yeast in them. You need to set them down somewhere warm and let them rise. So it might be about time to revisit it and finish up the sequel. Get that sent off as soon as I can. And in between all that, you know, I've also got the printing and fulfillment for the comic. And also some art commissions. I'm open for commissions. I've only got one lined up, and I can start pretty soon, actually. I'm nearly done with all my extra art for the Kickstarter, and I could really use a few more jobs. Because what I did, the reason why I was successful with the first Kickstarter, aside from finding 61 awesome readers, well, I couldn't have done that with the full cost of what it takes to produce a comic. It takes a lot more than 500. So what I had done was I had saved up, I'd worked really hard, did some Comic Cons, a lot of face painting, sold a lot of cosplay accessories, lots of stuff. Saved up my money and paid for everything out of pocket. Everything but the print. Or printing. And that's how come I didn't have to run a Kickstarter for $5,000. Because I'd already paid so much of it out of my own pocket. Well, this year I've had one Comic Con, and I will have one more Comic Con, and that's it. I don't know where there are any more I can get into this late, because these things are planned about 6 months in advance or more. And there's not a whole lot of Comic Cons in South Carolina, like within my reach. So that would be a pretty major thing. It's a pretty significant portion of where I've gotten the funds before that I don't have now. There was some stuff with some smaller cons. I signed up to be on the list for when they opened the vendor tables, and they were under new management, and a lot of stuff was going on, and I wasn't able to keep up. And it's possible that they didn't keep up with all their social media stuff either, because new people were managing them. And then there was a very nice little con in the Anderson County Library called Electric City Comic Con, run by the librarians, and they did such an awesome job, and I loved that one, and I didn't want to overschedule and miss that one, and now they're not doing it anymore. So that was kind of a bummer. Finish sketching that in right there and see how we did. that's not bad. Okay. I might go in with another something else. And put some shade down on the table. Let's see, I can do that with a new layer. We'll do it like I usually do my shading. We'll set it to multiply. There. Well, that looks better than I thought. So let's see, this is going to have to be another shorter stream. I'll get off here about 9:45. Finish up my stuff. Check for messages, because I wait very badly. I don't like being overwhelmed either, but which that's going to be really bad if all the stuff I'm waiting on comes in at the same time. But I don't know. Whatever happens, I'll survive it. Okay, so this is a nice sort of a coarse oak, I think, or walnut or something. I know I've seen a table this color wood somewhere before. It looks plausible to me. I guess I'd better sign it somewhere. And this brush is like going over it with a coat of varnish. This is working out really well. I wish my real life woodworking projects turned out this good. Okay, so having this table back behind here will give the map plenty of trim space, or I hope enough. And it'll also be a reasonable dimension to be mailed with comics and things. I was thinking that the boxes would be able to accommodate the whole thing, but I don't know. I might have to trim a little off the edges. It's still going to be a bit bigger than a comics page, I think. But yeah, I think the width is fine. Well, think the length is fine and the width might not be. Anyway, I will have to take a look at the comics in person and see. How they'll fit into the boxes and everything. I should be getting one order of boxes in tomorrow, and I should be getting another order in before another week's out. And I was thinking about sculpting a few new things as well. That's going to be interesting. I'll need to find time to do that. Not tomorrow, because tomorrow I will be making a fancy cake, because Miss Chaos really wants a fancy cake. Which maybe like a unicorn cake or something. We'll see how that goes. I need to borrow the pans, and I don't have the right kind of coloring, so it might just be like an albino unicorn. Okay, I'm tempted to just keep going with the dark color, and maybe I shouldn't. Alright, so far so good. I think it looks like it's on a surface. I don't think I see anything else that needs fixing about it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It was close for a little bit, but we pulled it through. Alright, so I don't know if I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. We'll see how things go. And I'll be thinking about a new schedule. Let me know in the comments if I should keep trying to do this every night. Keep in mind I can't do Wednesdays. Go every night but Wednesday, or if I should take weekends off, or what do you think about it? So thank you for watching. I appreciate I can't talk anymore. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll see you in the other round. Good night.